Very good afternoon to all of you. I hope I'm visible as well as audible. Hello, everyone. Just give me a quick confirmation in the chat box so that we can start with today's session. And if you're coming here for the very first time, I'm Sukanya, and we are going to, delve ourselves deeper into the literary analysis of the Hindu editorial. So I hope you guys are all pumped up, and do let me know. And are we meeting after quite some time now? Vaishnavi, hi, how have you been? Hi, Aishwarya. I think most of you are busy with your examination. Is that right? Am I guessing it right? Hi, Aishwarya. Hi, Vaishnavi. And the other people who can actually see me and hear me, please just let me know. Chalo. So let's start with the analysis for today. And I'm hoping that you guys have already gone through few of the articles today. So I did not really find any foreign phrases, but yeah, it was definitely the kind of editorial which was power packed with high frequency words. And some of the high frequency words we have seen, pretty recurring because मैंने बहुत सारे पुराने हिंदी एडिटोरियल्स में भी देखा कि यही वर्ड्स बार बार रिकर कर रहे हैं. And that's the reason I kind of created the task of the day today. So हम लोग already ऐसे बहुत सारे वर्ड्स हैं जिनको डिस्कस कर चुके हैं इन फ्यू ऑफ आवर प्रीवियस सेशंस नाउ व्हाट आई वुड वांट यू गाइस टू डू इज आई जस्ट वांट यू टू jog your memory and try recalling the words that we have already discussed and use it in your own sentences. So that would be the task of the day. I hope you guys are ready for that. Hi Sanchit, and I am absolutely fine. How are you? Good afternoon, Avi, and I'm doing absolutely fine. I hope you guys are doing the same, if not better. So, yes, hi Samiksha. So let's start with the first word. And cardinal has come in, I think, 2 days before वाला जो हिंदू editorial का newspaper था उसमें भी cardinal आया था. So I did not really consider it as a very important word, but then when I saw it getting repeated, so I thought, why not? Let's take it up. So cardinal का मतलब होता है something which is central or essential. You might have heard of the cardinal sin, right? Cardinal sin का मतलब होता है if somebody has committed a particular sin, then punishment is definitely imminent, right? So cardinal is central or essential. For example, if I talk about politics, bribery is cardinal to politics, right? Yes, Sanchit, absolutely. How can we use it? This honesty I regard as being a point of cardinal importance in the present case. Similarly, we can use it like this as well. Diligence is cardinal to being a good student. How many of you agree? Diligence means sincerity. If you are not sincere, then obviously you would lag behind many times, right? So, diligence or sincerity is cardinal to being a good student. And as you can very well see, cardinal is actually defining or qualifying diligence, which is a noun, abstract noun. Okay? And anything that qualifies or modifies a noun, you guys already know that how does that word act. So it's basically adjective here, as you can see. And moving on to the next one. So let me read your examples first. Albeit he was a minor, his punishment was cardinal for it to be an epitome of justice. Well done. Preamble is cardinal because it provides essential principles and norms. Well done, Sanchit. So the second one is vandalized. तुम लोगों ने already ये word बहुत बार सुना होगा. If anybody vandalizes something, it means they destroy a piece of property. It can be public or private property. Generally, hooligans are associated with vandalization. Hooligans कौन होते हैं? Generally the members of the youth, ठीक है, जिनको ज्यादा मस्ती करना पसंद होता है और आप बोल सकते हो कि चीजें तोड़ना फोड़ना पसंद होता है. सो दे आर मोस्टली एसोसिएटेड विद द टर्म वैंडलाइजेशन. ठीक है. And vandalized deliberately. Deliberately का मतलब होता है intentionally. When you intentionally destroy or damage something. And this is a verb. It ends with ed, so I think that was cue enough for you guys. So the phone box was vandalized by a gang of youths. As I've already told you, generally जो आप बोल सकते हो जो नए नए जवान लोग होते हैं उनको अपने दोस्तों के साथ कुछ भी मस्ती करना पसंद होता है एंड समटाइम्स इट काइंड ऑफ रिजल्ट्स इन रियली बिग रिपरकशंस रिपरकशंस का मतलब होता है कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस सो ऑलवेज बी वेरी माइंडफुल व्हेन यू आर हैविंग फन विथ योर फ्रेंड्स सो द फोन बॉक्स वाज vandalized by a gang of youths. The painting was vandalized by a jealous observer. Okay. Honesty is the cardinal factor to be a rhetorical leader. Yes, absolutely. Are we correct? That's how we use it. While protesting people, I think Aishwarya, I'm not able to read your entire comment because some of it is kind of hidden by the icon. Yeah. Protest people vandalize public property. Yes, generally, people do that. When the bully vandalized the kid, he was on cloud nine. My God, what a bully, right? Vandalization of dreams is the biggest problem for me. Sanchit, I just hope that you get out of this rut in that case. In response, several of the new vehicles were vandalized. Well done. Very good, Samiksha. The next one is lamenting. By the way, let me tell you one thing about this word. Lamenting, you guys must have already heard when probably जब literature में तुम लोग poems पढ़ते हो और कोई chapter पढ़ते हो तो उसमें lamenting word बहुत commonly use होता है. Lamenting is also a tone, okay? And when a particular piece of writing is extremely sad and expresses grief, grief का मतलब होता है दुख, ठीक है? So something that expresses a lot of sadness, grief, sorrow, that is known as lamenting. So somebody who is crying in order to आप बोल सकते हो express their sadness, that is also lamenting. Usage is pretty simple. She sat around lamenting her fate. So sometimes what happens when we plan things and things do not go according to our will, तो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि हर चीज ना मेरी किस्मत ही खराब है. So it's basically वो जो किस्मत खराब हो ना and then you're crying over it. So that is lamenting. Okay. I lamented when my favorite dress got stains over it. Just imagine you're planning to wear your brand new dress and you haven't checked it out like until the very last moment. And once you check it out, you get to know, oh my God, the last time around that I wore it, उसी समय पे मैंने बहुत सारे stains लगा लिए थे, which I did not get dry cleaned. So it's basically something that will make you very, very sad, right? He was lamenting the passing of his youth. Oh, how sad. I think we all do that, Aishwarya. She vandalized all her belongings to survive against her abusive in laws. Wonderful example, Avi. And Priya is here too, right? Legal rights is cardinal to awareness about. Acha, Priya, I think that statement needs a little bit more correction. Legal rights is cardinal when it comes to awareness. That could be one sentence. Uh, so that someone does not vandalize any property. Okay, that's how you can use it. Albeit she was a successful actress, she always kept basking in the past glory, lamenting on her failures. Okay, so basking in the past glory is a positive thing, lamenting on her failures is a negative thing. Are you sure, Vaishnavi, you want to bring that, like bring both of those sentences in one sentence itself? क्योंकि वो फिर थोड़ा सा contradictory हो रहा है. Okay, let's see the next one. Let me know in the chat box. Conflagration. Conflagration comes from the word flames or fire. So an explosive fire is known as conflagration. ठीक है आपने देखा होगा कि कहीं बहुत ज्यादा आग लग जाती है and it kind of destroys all the houses, the property, everything. An extensive fire which destroys a great deal of land or property is known as conflagration. And conflagration basically is related to fire. Okay, a giant extensive fire. Now the thing is, instead of using the word, fire or an extensive fire, please start using the word conflagration instead. Will make you sound more impressive. A conflagration of 1947 reduced 90% of the houses to ashes. Okay, the conflagration of my important documents by my enemy made me see red. Can anybody tell me what's the meaning of the expression made me see red? Hi Aditya, good afternoon. So my enemy burnt my important documents. Obviously, it will make me furious. It will make me angry. It will make me see red, right? So, albeit she was a successful actress, she always mulled over her past, lamenting over her failures. Now, this is a much better version, Vaishnavi. So you have kind of upscaled it. Lovely. The next one is heady, and you guys must have heard this word as heady sensation of something. जब भी आपको heady feel होता है, इसका मतलब है, okay, so let me give you an example here. So whenever anybody consumes alcohol, they kind of have a heady sensation. Are you understanding my point? Heady का मतलब क्या होता है? When you feel that your senses are not working to the fullest. ठीक है, आपको थोड़ा सा आप बोल सकते हो you will be intoxicated or you will probably get very excited about something, but you will not be in the right frame of mind. That's how a heady sensation feels like. Okay, so कोई भी चीज जो heady होती है वो generally ये word use किया जाता है when somebody is under the effect of alcoholic drinks. ठीक है, that's when they are not in their right state of mind, but still they are very happy or very high or very excited about something. Okay, so heady is an adjective because heady sensation, sensation is a noun. There also you can see heady is qualifying the noun. The perfume is a heady mix of floral and spicy notes. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है ना कि हम कोई perfume का scent लेते हैं and it's so beautiful the way it kind of stays on you. That kind of makes you feel a little heady, intoxicated, right? Then conflagration of practice is bedrock of successful person. Lovely, Sanchit. You have used two of the words, high frequency words, and you do remember bedrock. Great. The city was devastated by a conflagration that left many homeless. Wonderful example, Aishwarya. Now, moving on to the next one. Propitious. And something which is propitious, you can remember it from prosperous or something that brings you good luck or something that is favorable to you. It's again an adjective. So today I saw lots and lots of adjectives for some reason. Now coming back to the usage. Favorable का मतलब तो सभी को ही पता होगा. कोई चीज जो आपके फेवर में हो, it's favorable for you. So it was a propitious time to start a new business. I bought my car on a propitious day. The jewelry was propitious for the family, and that's the reason why they never sold it. When I was in exam, my brain is heady because there is critical situation. What a relatable example. In the heady days of their youth, they thought anything was possible. Absolutely true. Everybody in their young days, they feel that they are inconquerable, they are invincible. ठीक है, उनको लगता है कि हर चीज पॉसिबल है, बिल्कुल सही. His desire was fueled with conflagration of greed, making him heady of the consequences of it. Wow, wonderful example, Vaishnavi. You've put it in a really, I would say, coherent way. Morphed. And if anything is in that morphing stage, morph का मतलब होता है a transformation. But the transformation does not really happen overnight. It is a gradual process. ठीक है, तो धीरे धीरे जब कोई transformation हो रहा होता है, for example, anybody losing weight, ठीक है, अब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि if I've started working out 3 दिन में ही मेरा weight कम हो जाएगा. Obviously नहीं हो सकता ऐसा. So when your body would go from probably unhealthy to healthy, it's a gradual process. धीरे धीरे वो changes आएंगे but आएंगे. ठीक है? So a gradual transformation is known as morphing or morphed, getting morphed. Let's see the usage. And by the way, it's a verb, so we can use it as a verb here also. Her body began to morph back to human form. Obviously, I'm talking about some mythological or fantasy creature. For example, the man morphed into a werewolf. Okay, let me read your examples now. The timing of this third campaign did not seem propitious. I Okay, Sanchit, so we cannot really use it like that because propitious is an adjective, so you will have to use it with a noun. Okay, so I feel the deal is propitious for me. You can use it like that. Okay. Then venality. And if we are talking about venality, there's this one word venal, and venal se banta hai venality, and it's a noun. And it basically means the quality when you're being open to, getting the bribery. That means आप बहुत अच्छे से दूसरों के पैसे ले सकते हो, खा सकते हो, or overly motivated by money. So somebody who is too much into bribery, who is too much into doing under the table activities, that person is being questioned for venality is quite obvious, right? So venality is a noun, and usage is his best known novel is a bitter study of the venality of the literary world. That means how people are so much motivated by money. Sometimes the venality of some officers makes me horrified. Okay. Ideology is a morphed process. When people travel from one place to another, it takes time for the people to get propitious to the environment of that place. Uh, okay, Avi, we cannot really use it in terms of the climate being favorable for us. Okay, we can talk about propitious in the sense when a deal is fulfilling, is favorable, when you basically purchase something and that is propitious, or probably a day that is propitious, that's how. Okay. With the help of the potion, Hermione morphed the boys into propitious spies. Wow. I think nobody could have used it better. And Harry Potter references are always welcome. So, wonderful example. Many women who had won their freedom lost it again through violence and trickery and the venality of men entrusted with their care. Okay. Yes. Samiksha, another lovely example. The next word is motley. And motley का मतलब होता है basically when diverse things are put together. For example, when we cook a dish, right, we use diverse ingredients to make that dish. So that is a motley of items. Similarly, motley in the sense varied in appearance or character or something which is diverse in general. For example, when you are in a crowded situation, आपके आसपास बहुत भीड़ लगी हुई है. Obviously, you are surrounded by a motley of people. All of the people are not similar, right? They are different, they are diverse. So you are surrounded by a motley of people. That's another adjective, by the way. The people that she had invited were a pretty motley crew. What does that mean? They were a pretty diverse group of people. I love having a motley of skincare. And true story, by the way. When you care about the skin, but the skin doesn't care, I think girls would understand, right? So I love having a motley of skincare to my rescue. The next word, by the way, the word overarching can be seen in questions. When you give mocks, ये overarching जो word है ये बहुत बार questions में पूछा जाता है. And what does that mean? Overarching means something which is comprehensive. Comprehensive का मतलब होता है something which kind of includes everything. That is comprehensive. Something which is all embracing. हर चीज को वो embrace कर रही है. हर चीज को वो accept कर रही है. So it's something which is whole, something which talks about the complete thing. That is overarching. Okay. So usage, the overarching principle, that means the comprehensive or the all embracing principle at work, is that everyone contributes to the common need. I think that's pretty much understandable whenever you work in a workplace. अगर सब अपना अपना bit अच्छे से honestly करें, तो I think it will contribute to the greater good of the organization. That's how we can use it, right? I saw the overarching meaning of her speech. Okay. Okay, wait. So Aishwarya's example is India is a motley of religions. Exactly, absolutely correct. The School of Administration has a motley of ministers of venality. Very good. It has a diverse set of people, and all of them are well known for their venality. The Supreme Court's verdict on declaring venality for the elections as unconstitutional is a rightful decision. I think Avi, you have already gone through one of the articles, right? Motley, by the way, the example was remarkable. And the last section is also motley, although interesting. Yes, that means it has diverse things, but still it's very interesting. Motley of political parties which are polarized, uh, people's choice, which have polarized people's choice. That's how it should be. The logical passages are overarching in mocks. Yes, Aishwarya, and by the way, how are you finding them? The overarching strategy to give mocks has really helped me. Okay, so now it's finally time for the literary analysis of one of our articles. And I don't know how many of you have already read this one. So we are talking about deprivileging bribe. And from the title itself, I think it's pretty prominent. Deprivileging bribe का मतलब क्या होता है? Bribes में भी privileges होते हैं. And yes, that's what we have seen in this particular article. आप अगर मिनिस्टर हो तो आपको ब्राइब लेने के लिए कोई पनिशमेंट नहीं मिलेगी. By the way, what do you guys feel about this particular statement? That if you are holding an important position and then you are taking bribes, you won't get punished. How would you feel? How would you find this particular law? Our constitution is overarching. Absolutely right, Priya. The logical passage is, acha, I have already read that, I think. Huh, so I have asked you guys a question. What do you think about deprivileging bribe? Matlab ki, if I'm a common man and if I take a bribe, I'll probably get under arrest. I'll probably get punished for it. But if I am somebody who is important to the government, then I won't be punished for the same. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि don't you think when we are talking about equality, this also falls under the same umbrella? इट्स नॉट एट ऑल करेक्ट राइट. तो पैसेज भले ही उन लोगों ने बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेट करने की कोशिश की है, बट पैसेज का आइडिया बहुत ही ज्यादा सिंपल है अगर आपने ढंग से पढ़ा होगा इस चीज को. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट डी प्रिविलेजिंग ब्राइब बाय द वे. एंड इसका मतलब क्या होता है, बहुत इजीली मैं इस चीज को समझाना चाहती हूँ सो दैट यू गाइज डू नॉट हैव एनी कंफ्यूजन व्हेन इट कम्स टू दिस पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल. चलो, सो बहुत सिंपल सा कॉन्सेप्ट है यहाँ पे. There has been this big court case in India about politicians taking bribes. तो politicians क्यों bribes लेते हैं? ये ब्राइब्स बेसिकली दूसरी गवर्नमेंट जो रहती है, दूसरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी जो होती है वो देती है, सो दैट यू कैन वोट इन फेवर of that political party. Okay, so obviously you are trying to kind of purchase a politician or purchase their vote through bribing the politician. That's the case here. ठीक है, अब क्या होता है, well, अगर हम in this case if we just refer to this problem, some politicians have been accused of taking bribes to support a particular government in a vote. For example, if I want the BJP party to win again, और अगर BJP ने किसी को bribe दे दी किसी politician को, so that when it comes to voting, ये जो particular politician है ये BJP को ही vote देगा, and that means eventually they are going to end up winning. It can be about BJP, it can be about Congress, it can be about AAP. I'm just giving you an example here. ठीक है? But now there was a rule that said politicians could not be punished for what they said or how they voted in parliament. अब यहाँ पे आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि what the politician says in the parliament, and similarly the party that it votes, he or she votes, is not at all relevant to what is going on here. क्योंकि bribe लेना तो कहीं भी lawful हो नहीं सकता है, and that's exactly what they are talking about. So you are allowed to say whatever you feel, you are allowed to vote whichever party you feel is fit for the upcoming elections, but you cannot really take bribes. So यहाँ पे इसी चीज को correct किया गया है. So recently the Supreme Court, in order to correct this particular thought process, has basically taken this into account कि भाई इसको मैं allow नहीं कर सकता that people are, freely taking the bribes just because they are a part of the parliament. Okay, they explained that the rule was actually meant to protect the politicians. देखो, obviously politicians are always in a very well protected environment, and this particular law जो originally ये जो law था कि आपने अगर bribes ली to vote a particular political party जिसमें कोई punishment नहीं मिलती थी, it was again in order to protect these politicians or so that they do not get into trouble. ठीक है, the court decided that it's very important to make sure that these politicians aren't influenced by money when they make their decisions. देखो, if I am taking the bribes, इसका मतलब है कि मेरा खुद का decision तो मैंने छोड़ दिया. I am just going to follow whichever political party is going to come into power. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि मैंने खुद की जो decision making skills हैं उनको तो use किया ही नहीं, मुझे पैसे मिल गए और मैंने उसको vote कर दिया. ठीक है, so now the politicians are going to be held accountable. अगर आपने किसी से bribe ली तो you will be basically held accountable का मतलब होता है you will be asked questions related to that, you will probably get punishment or probably you will get debarred for that time period. तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, basically penalization in one way. So the thing is, the decision is basically seen as a way to make the politicians act in a very honest manner, and so that they do not take further bribes in terms of the upcoming elections. अब हम देख सकते हैं कि in the beginning the writer was not really happy about the situation which is prevailing, right? So this particular article has two tones which are kind of cutting each other. So the first part was when the writer was discussing about the problem. He was definitely not happy about the situation where the politicians are not getting punished for taking bribes. But later on, when the Supreme Court has revised this particular law, the writer is obviously happy about it. So in the first part, he's being critical. But overall, I can say that the writer was what? Critical about the first part, but in the last part he was happy about it. ठीक है? So supportive of the recent decision, critical about the previous situation. That is basically the tone of the passage. I hope you have understood it. Exactly, Avi. Don't you think that's very true also? By the way, I've highlighted these words. Does anybody know the meaning of rankled? I think analytical would best suit it because पहले वो critical था, बाद में वो supportive है, so it has the best of both worlds. So I think analytical can be the perfect tone for this. हाँ, So, does anybody know the meaning of the word rankled or anomaly? By the way, I haven't written the meaning of anomaly because in one of our previous sessions we did discuss the word anomaly, and I must have talked about Priyanka Chopra's brand also. So, anomaly क्या होता है? Something which is unusual, something which is a kind of irregularity. Normal से हट के जो भी चीज होती है वो होती है anomaly. So, the first word is inducement. Inducement, monetary inducement का मतलब क्या हुआ? I have given you monetary perks or incentives. जैसे कि when you work in an organization, आपका appraisal होता है 1 साल के बाद. तो there you get monetary inducement, you get monetary benefits or incentives. ठीक है? वैष्णवी, it's not really that extreme actually. Abnormal थोड़ा सा extreme ज्यादा हो जाता है. Yes, then the next word is rankled. What is the meaning of the word rankled? Does anybody know? Let's see. So, when I talk about inducement, it is a kind of incentive, it's kind of a benefit or a perk that you receive. Rankled का मतलब होता है something which causes continuous annoyance. जैसे कि generally, our friends can really rankle us. कुछ फ्रेंड्स होते हैं जो बहुत अनोइंग होते हैं, राइट? सो दे कॉज दिस फीलिंग ऑफ अनोयंस. जब भी हम उसके उनके पास बैठते हैं तो वो कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा कुछ बोलते हैं जिससे कि हम थोड़े से अनोइड हो जाते हैं. सो दैट कैन बी कंसिडर्ड एज बीइंग रैंकल्ड. Okay, the next one is aghast. When you're aghast, that means you're shocked and you're very upset about it. Something that disappoints you, shocks you, surprises you in a negative manner, makes you upset. That's basically when you are aghast. Okay. सपोज आप किसी इंफॉर्मेशन का वेट कर रहे थे, किसी न्यूज का वेट कर रहे थे, एंड देन द न्यूज कम्स इन अ रादर अनप्रिडिक्टेबल मैनर. जो आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे वो नहीं होता है. सो यू आर अगास्ट बाय लिसनिंग टू दैट पीस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. Okay, inducement of salary is beneficiary for everybody. Exactly. Then the next word is foregrounded. By the way, another word that you will see very often in questions. सो क्वेश्चंस में ये वर्ड यूज होता है foregrounded. इसका मतलब ये होता है कि to make something the most prominent or the most important feature. So when the writer is asking you about the most important feature, that can be this the kind of question where you will see foregrounded being used. I also talked about one more word which you will see in questions, that was overarching. Remember that word. Overarching का मतलब होता है something which is taken into account as a whole, comprehensive, all embracing. And second one is foregrounded. दोनों ही important words हैं. The next one is probity. Probity का मतलब होता है something that talks about honesty, integrity, honor. That means a person of integrity is a person that can prove his probity. Okay? Honesty. Enshrined, something which is enshrined is basically placed. जैसे कि आपने कभी देखा होगा कि आपके घर में कोई बहुत ही प्रेशियस ऑब्जेक्ट है, ठीक है, उसको आपने उसकी प्रॉपर जगह पे रख दिया. That is known as being enshrined. Okay, so something which is set down in its proper place or placed in an appropriate receptacle is enshrining. Okay, for example, the statue was enshrined in a propitious corner. Okay. Um, when I saw class 10th result, I got aghast. Exactly. Very good, Sanchit. Let's talk about the main idea. So, does anybody, like, can anybody come up with 2 to 3 lines about the main idea of the passage that we have just discussed? बताओ, क्या हो सकता है इसका मेन आइडिया? सबसे पहले तो how the previous situation differs from the current situation. So earlier, the politicians weren't under the threat of persecution. for bribery. But the Supreme Court has now addressed this problem. Oh, sorry. Problem by holding the politicians accountable for such acts, which may result in their penalization. Something that is appalling, that makes you aghast. Are you getting my point, Sanchit? Appalling ka matlab hota hai something which is awful, pathetic, okay? And that is shocking. So something that is appalling can result in you being aghast in their penalization. Okay? So Avi has also come up with his main idea. So the Supreme Court's verdict meets people's expectations that the leader they elect are not acting under monetary inducement. Very well put. And also, you have put it in a very concise, crisp manner, Avi. So lovely. So moving on to the tone, we have already discussed. Starting may it's critical, later on it's supportive. So I think the best way to sum it up is analytical. Okay, you should not take the wrong benefits of your position. Exactly, Ashwarya. Now, law and disorder on Manipur, its ethnic polarization and its law and order. How many of you have already read this particular article? कितने लोगों को ये चीज पता है कि क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे? I think we did discuss in one of our previous sessions about the ongoing conflicts in Manipur and the ethnic polarization that's rampant when it comes to Manipur. तो हम लोगों ने इस चीज की पहले भी बात की थी. तो अभी it particularly highlights the recent incidents, and these recent incidents involve the Arambai Tengol group. अब यहाँ पे भी कुछ नई प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं. एंड दिस पैसेज प्राइमरीली डिस्कसेस द ग्रुप्स एक्शंस कि ये जो ग्रुप है अरम्बाई तेंगोल, ये किस तरीके से एक्ट कर रहा है करंटली. एंड दे हैव करंटली ऑल्सो अटैक्ड ऑन पुलिस ऑफिसर्स. ठीक है, दैट मीन्स दे आर टोटली लूजिंग देयर माइंड एज वी कैन वेरी वेल सी. दे हैव ऑल्सो अटैक्ड लीडर्स. ठीक है, so this kind of reflects the way we are falling when it comes to maintaining law and order, and that's the reason why the article is named law and disorder. ठीक है, तो हम लोग लॉ एंड ऑर्डर मेंटेन ही नहीं कर पा रहे हैं व्हेन इट कम्स टू मणिपुर. एंड दिस हैज एक्सासरबेटेड का मतलब होता है दिस हैज ओनली वर्सनड द सिचुएशन. एंड ऑल्सो द गवर्नमेंट, मतलब वहाँ पे जो लीडर्स हैं, इवन दे आर बीइंग हेल्ड अकाउंटेबल फॉर देयर सच एक्शंस. ठीक है, लेकिन अभी तक कोई हमारे पास अच्छा आंसर नहीं है इस चीज के लिए. सो इट ऑल्सो कॉल्स ऑन द यूनियन गवर्नमेंट एंड द रूलिंग पार्टी विच इज बीजेपी. तो इनके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चंस किए जा रहे हैं, बिकॉज सच इश्यूज नीड टू बी आंसर्ड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इमीडिएटली, है ना, और दे शुड बी टेकन वेरी सीरियसली. So this particular passage emphasizes why it is so important that there should be the need of state to maintain a monopoly. क्योंकि अगर state monopoly maintain नहीं करता है तो law and disorder is going to be an everyday thing. So that's basically about the passage if you haven't already read it. अब मुझे एक चीज बताओ कि what could be the tone of this particular passage. Was it introspective? First of all, let me tell you what is introspective. Okay, a pretty simple meaning. It has the word I in it, so you can remember it. Okay, I have already shown you the answer, my bad. It has the word I in it. Okay, and the word I stands for मैं खुद. ठीक है, so जब मैं खुद से अपना analysis करती हूँ, when I'm trying to analyze myself or trying to find my own truth, that is when I am introspective. So introspective has to do with I, remember that. Okay, तो कभी कभी ऐसा होता है ना, क्योंकि हमारे बारे में सच जो है वो हमसे ज्यादा किसी और को नहीं पता होता है। ठीक है, एग्जैक्टली। सो जब हम रात को खुद से बातें करते हैं, बेसिकली राइट बिफोर वी स्लीप, वी काइंड ऑफ टॉक अबाउट द एंटायर डे, हमें ये भी पता रहता है कि हमने क्या गलत किया था, क्या सही किया था। ठीक है, सो दैट्स व्हेन यू आर बीइंग इंट्रोस्पेक्टिव। स्पेक्युलेटिव, कैन एनीबडी टेल मी? यू ऑलरेडी हैव टोल्ड मी द आंसर इज अलार्मिंग डेफिनेटली। सो आंसर इज अलार्मिंग का मतलब ये है कि द सिचुएशन, क्योंकि लॉ एंड डिसऑर्डर इज सो फ्रीक्वेंट इन मणिपुर, तो आपको जल्दी से कुछ करना पड़ेगा। तो ऑब्वियसली द सिचुएशन इज अलार्मिंग, द राइटर is trying to caution the government. Okay, so it's an alarming situation. But what is speculative? When a writer is speculative, that means his study is based on guesswork. वो guess कर रहा है, वो 100% sure नहीं है उस चीज के बारे में. So whenever you see the word speculation, understand that this particular study is based on guessing. ठीक है. सेलिब्रेटोरी, यहाँ पे वो सेलिब्रेट तो नहीं कर रहा था कि बढ़िया कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहे हैं, एथनिक पोलराइजेशन इज सो एविडेंट, सो ऑब्वियसली देयर वाज नथिंग टू सेलिब्रेट, राइट? Answer is obviously alarming. Okay, what about this one? Heady electoral rhetoric with a hegemonic ring to it. What can be the meaning of this particular passage? Does anybody know? किसी ने पढ़ा है ये? Okay, let's talk about this passage, but let me just drink water first. Hmm. So तुम लोगों को पता है कि the elections are around the corner. एंड यहाँ पे उसी से रिलेटेड बात हो रही है, बिकॉज वेन एवर यू सी इलेक्टोरल, इलेक्टोरल इज रिलेटेड टू द वोटिंग पब्लिक. ठीक है. सो द मेन आइडिया ऑफ दिस पैसेज इज टू एनालाइज द पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रैटेजीज एज वेल एज द रिटोरिक ऑफ द एनडीए. एनडीए का मतलब तुम लोगों को सबको ही पता है, नेशनल डेमोक्रेटिक अलायंस कोलिशन इन इंडिया. और वो ये सारी चीजें क्यों हो रही हैं? बिकॉज जनरल इलेक्शंस आने वाले हैं अभी जल्दी ही. एंड इट ऑल्सो डिस्कसेस अबाउट एनडीए's कैंपेन नैरेटिव. तो इस बार एनडीए का क्या कैंपेन नैरेटिव है? यहाँ पे हिंदू मेजोरिटेरियनिज्म को आप बोल सकते हो सर्कुलेट किया जा रहा है, ये पर्टिकुलर आइडिया. एंड दे आर ऑल्सो अटैकिंग द ऑपोजिशन दिस टाइम. दे आर काइंड ऑफ पोर्ट्रेइंग देमसेल्व्स एज द ओनली चॉइस. ठीक है. तो हमें पता है कि एनडीए जो है वो अपने आप को ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट कर रहा है कि द बेटर और द बेस्ट चॉइस दैट यू गाइज हैव इज अस. ठीक है. एंड ऑल्सो दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट how much they have done for the country in over the course of time. तो ये भी मतलब वो अपना काम भी बता रहे हैं आपको, हर चीज वो अपने अपने बारे में जो उन्होंने मेरिट्स हैं उनके, दे आर काइंड ऑफ डिस्प्लेइंग इट ऑन फुल शो. ठीक है. तो ये सारी चीजें हो रही हैं इस चीज में, इस पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल में. एंड वी ऑल्सो गेट टू नो अबाउट हाउ सम पीपल आर नॉट हैप्पी विद इट, बिकॉज कहीं कहीं द क्लेम्स दैट दीज पीपल आर क्लेमिंग अबाउट, कहीं ना कहीं लोग उस चीज से सहमत नहीं है. सो पीपल डू नॉट completely agree with it. So the passage kind of draws parallels when it comes to the historical as well as the international political context. ठीक है. अगर हम हिस्ट्री को उठा के देखें और इंटरनेशनल पॉलिटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट को देखें, कॉन्टेक्स्ट को देखें, so that will actually give us the idea how this concept of hegemony. Do you guys remember when we discussed the word hegemony? Hegemony is related to what? Like dictatorship. That's hegemony. ठीक है. So it's kind of giving us the reflection of hegemony as well as coalition building in politics. तो दोनों ही चीजों की बात इस particular passage में होती है. ठीक है. So the writer primarily does not really talk about his own opinions of this, but हाँ, वो उसको अच्छे से observe कर रहा है. He's talking about the pros and cons of it. So what should be the answer? Analytical. Was it provocative? Provocative का मतलब होता है something that provokes you to do something wrongful. तो ऐसा कुछ तो नहीं था इस पैसेज में. ठीक है. संचित, तुम्हें ऐसा क्यों फील होता है? What's the reason behind that? That's a very unusual comment, I would say. अरे मैं डिक्टेटर नहीं हूँ भैया. अच्छा, you are talking about hegemonic. Yeah, that is dictatorship, definitely. Satire. Did you see that a politician is being made fun of in this particular passage? क्या किसी politician के ऊपर mockery या sarcasm हो रहा था या मजाक उड़ाया जा रहा था? वो तो नहीं हो रहा था. So obviously not satire. Pensive का मतलब होता है something which is deep in thought or deeply thoughtful. So यहाँ पे deep in thought तो नहीं था, but definitely it was analytical. Okay? Yes, exactly, Avi. Instigating someone to do something wrong. Absolutely right. And finally, it's time for the task of the day. So I already told you in the beginning of this class that this time I have kind of put together the different words which we have already discussed in one of our previous sessions. Status quo is a foreign phrase हम discuss कर चुके हैं. I might have also told you about Harry Styles song. इसका meaning is that simple. ठीक है. Incumbent भी हम discuss कर चुके हैं. Rhetoric अभी ही discuss किया था. इससे पहले भी कर चुके हैं. Hegemony also we have just discussed. So now what you need to do is you need to come up with original unique sentences. That means something which is not copied directly from Google or from any other platform. It has to be your original statement. You can use two of the words, you can use all of the words if you like, and post it in the comment box. And that's the task of the day. Okay? So thank you so much everyone for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. And yeah, do not forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. So thank you so much everyone. Bye bye. Have a great day. See you again.